position. He's done his best first sector and he's about to do his best middle sector as well.
4 minutes left on the clock. We'll get a reference from Carlos Sainz here as to what sort of lap times he's doing. He's 2/10 away from Bottas in sector 1.
Traffic out of the pits.
Daniel Ricciardo out of the final corner and across the line, and he's going to start his, well, that last lap was a 1:25, so it wasn't really a slow one. So yeah, are they, oh, and he's getting traffic straight out of the pits, and it's Latifi, I think. So I wonder if, are they doing basically push first laps like we were saying about with Stroll, where you're going flat out in inverted commas but just not using all the battery and things like that?
Yeah, exactly. It's a fast lap that's not a push lap for a lap time. Sainz actually goes up to 4th place, 1.1 seconds away from Bottas, splitting the two Ferraris, but I think that could be it, just because if you want to generate the tyre temperature with the sun going down slightly in Portugal, then you need to just make sure you lean on the tyres properly on the outlap and get the temperature in. Ricciardo was either on high.
We're going +1.5 on the soft outlap critical. So we might get one time lap.
Traffic out of the pits.
Traffic out of the pits was Ricciardo's complaint, which was the previously alluded to Williams.
Sainz has his lap time deleted after all of that. He's back down to 12th. So there's still more and more times being deleted. And that radio message, I think Ricciardo was trying to go for a flying lap and just had to back out of it. He's currently slowest of everyone, 20th, 4.1 seconds away. So he's not managed to get any representative run in since the trial tyres pretty much early on in the first half an hour of the session. But here we go again, take 2 on board the Australian. Oh, turning in almost flat to the first corner, super quick in there, and then down a couple of gears. Second gear, just 50 mile an hour through turn 3, and then up over the left-hand crest of turn 4.
0.6 of a second away from Bottas in sector 1 is Daniel Ricciardo. We're getting more improvements further back in the field. What is Hamilton up to? There's a 23.6 in sector 1, Lewis Hamilton. So again, he's pushing, but a tenth or so down on Bottas in the first sector. And now Ricciardo is coming up towards turns 10 and 11. He's got a Ferrari up in front of him. It's Sebastian Vettel, as he doesn't really hook up the apex at 11, although it feels like a corner that you don't necessarily need to, as he now comes into the left-hander of 13 and the right-hander of 14. Down a couple of gears into third on the power, and then out through the final corner of turn 15, swings it through the right-hander absolutely flat out, hugs the inside, releases the steering, cuts the timing beam, and pretty much matches his teammate Esteban Ocon. 0.04 of a second slower, although Ocon, following him in round, goes up into 8th place. Ocon seemed to set his lap time very soon after, so I wonder if they're slipstreaming or not.
Well, they inadvertently are, because there was only a couple of seconds between Ricciardo and Ocon as they crossed the line. If that. There's so much traffic out there now, 18 cars all on track. Just Gasly, who went up in flames, and Stroll, who ended in the gravel after a crash with Verstappen. Everyone else is out on track. Albon's improved to go 10th. Time's very spread out, but they would be in this sort of session because the tyres have had many heat cycles of being released on a soft tyre, then a red flag, then being released and doing an outlap or starting to push, and then a red flag. And all this while, the tyres go up in temperature, down in temperature, up in pressure, down in pressure, get more used as well. And those that went out early have taken the gains. That's Valtteri Bottas and Max Verstappen.
Cool this lap and push next lap.
You have the checkered flag next lap, or this lap. Checkered flag this lap will be.
Are you sure, even if I push?
Yes.
Well, that's fine. I will take the checkered flag and push for the next lap.
Copy, understood. Hamilton pushing behind at 4 seconds.
Other driver improving, as I say, is Daniel Kvyat, although he hasn't done a great middle sector, the Russian. Norris coming through the middle sector now. And he's certainly going to improve here. I mean, he's 1.5 seconds away from Bottas. Bottas is half a second clear of Verstappen, 0.8 of a second clear of Charles Leclerc. So it's very spread out, as Jolien alluded to, in the middle sector. And Norris quick in sector 2 as well. He could go up into second or third here, Norris.
Yeah, he's just 0.3 away from Bottas in the middle sector. That's where Bottas has got time on everyone. But he's still looking like he's going to be somewhere near.
Is there a gap anywhere?
Not really. I think you'll have to let Raikkonen go. Magnussen's 2 behind. There is a gap 10 seconds behind you now. If you want to wait there, you need to let Perez, he's on you now, and then Norris. So go very slowly now. And after Perez and Norris, there's a big gap. Okay, so after Norris, remember they're high fuel, so they will be very slow.
Vettel 6th, Gasly 7th, Hamilton 8th, 9th for Ocon, 10th for Alex Albon, Russell, Perez, Ricciardo, Latifi and Raikkonen in the top 15, Magnussen, Kvyat, Grosjean, Stroll and Giovinazzi, the 20.
Well, you say Giovinazzi then. Let's hope he stays in. So Bottas fastest in that session even. Jolien, apart from Bottas being fastest, it seemed like a really sort of glitchy, messy session. Nobody be able to get a clean running, really. Just not representative today at all.
What's Carlos doing? You're not supposed to pass.
Yeah,
For the
saw
checker.
that. So remember procedure. You want 4 burnout, BPF 4 burnout, please.
Shocks on Sunday because of the lack of running on Friday. Maybe we can, well, we'll see it again next weekend, but I don't think we've learned a lot today. The session was just very scrappy with 2 red flags.
Yeah, the drivers now just coming round to the start line. They're going to pick a box and give themselves a practice start. This is where they're allowed to do that on this race weekend due to the nature of the circuit. So they all come round, although Lance Stroll not there because of his damaged car. Gasly not there because of his damaged car. Very different damage. Do you guys feel brave enough to put a who's to blame and what the penalty will be on the Stroll-Verstappen incident?
Honestly...
So Carlos, the turn 10, 11 and turn 13 look okay. In the final corner, Lando brakes earlier, carries more apex speed and picks up the throttle.